السلام عليكم. اسمي دكتور نوار صلاح. Are you my patient?
No.
Today I would like to perform a neurological examination on you. It might be quite expensive. Would you allow me to?
Yeah.
I can assure there will be privacy between us, okay?
Okay.
I will ask for a chaperone, I'll wash my hands, and then, inshallah, I will begin my examination. So to comment, I will first assess the patient's level of consciousness. I will see if the patient is awake and alert according to the Glasgow Coma scale. We have many ways: verbal, motor, eye-opening. I can assess that by inspecting the patient quickly and assessing his level of consciousness. My comment: the patient is awake and alert. And after that, while I'm assessing your mental status, I will then ask the patient's orientation. Okay. So I would like to ask you, do you know where you are right now?
Yes.
Okay, where we are in the clinic?
Yeah.
Tamam. Do you know if it's day or night time right now?
Yeah.
Is it
Morning. Day.
Daytime. And do you recognize me?
Yeah.
Doctor.
Yeah.
And this is the chair.
Okay.
So the patient is well oriented of his surroundings. Next, I would like to assess your memory. Okay, starting with your short-term memory. So for now, I would like to show you that this is the wall. This is the floor. This is the wall. This is the ceiling. After a couple of few seconds, I'll ask you this question again to repeat me what I just said. Those three words. Okay.
Okay.
Floor, wall, ceiling.
Okay.
So next, I want to assess your long-term memory. So I would like to ask you, who's the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia?
Milk Salman.
No. Good. Okay, so in that case, while I'm talking to the patient, whether it's during history taking or during examination, I'm also assessing his speech. Okay, a bonus, if the patient, while his speech is slurring, slurring speech, then we can have this dysarthria. Okay, so for now, the patient's speech is normal. Now, do you remember what I asked you earlier about those three words?
Yeah.
I want you to repeat. Can you repeat them?
Floor, wall, and the ceiling.
Good. So the patient's memory, short-term memory is good, as well as his long-term memory. So after assessing your mental status, we can further proceed. For now, I would like to examine all cranial nerves in your body. Would you allow me to?
Yes.
So to start with the cranial nerves, the first, the olfactory nerve. For now, I would only have to mention it. For now, what I would like you to do is to close your eyes and then close one nostril, your left nostril.
Okay.
And then normally, I would have like a tea or lemonade. And with tea lemonade, I would have it here. I'll ask you, can you smell that?
Mm-hmm.
Now, can you close the other nostril? Close your eyes, both of them. Can you smell that?
Yeah.
So with the olfactory nerve, the person's sense of smell is intact. You can open your eyes. Next, after the olfactory nerve, we can assess for the optic nerve. For the optic nerve, we can assess a couple of things, starting with visual acuity. I would mention I would have the Snellen E sharp. If you were able to read the words for me, right or left or whatever, in which direction. I would also assess your color vision by assessing whether you have color blindness by Ashira chart. The next step that I would actually do, and then the exam's going to come, is the visual field. So right now, what I want you to do is to cover your eye with your hand, open this one. And what I want you to do is to now move your head and look into my other eye. Look at the other opposite eye. So look into my eye in this one, okay? Don't move anywhere else. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flick my finger, and I want you to tell me whether you can see my finger flickering in your field, okay? While staring at my eye, okay? Ask me with a yes.
Yeah.
Can you see that?
Yes.
Can you see that?
Yes.
Can you see that?
Yes.
Now cover the other eye.
Yes.
Can you see that?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Tamam. You can open your eye. So the visual field is intact for this patient, okay? For the clockwise direction. After assessing the person's visual field, the next thing that we want to do is perform a fundoscope examination. Just mention it. Examine the optic nerve by the fundoscope. And finally, I want to assess the patient's optic nerve via pupillary light reflexes. Now, to aid my optic nerve examination by examining his pupillary reflexes, I only have to mention it, but I can also perform it by having a torch or whatever, and ask the patient, just relax, and just stare into me. Okay? And you'll see the one pupil constrict. Look at the other, it's also constricted. That's consensual pupillary light reflex. Look at the other one. The pupil in this one is constricted. Look at the other one, it's also constricted as well. So both pupils are constricted, they're normal. So there's direct and consensual pupillary light reflexes. I finished my optic nerve examination. Next, I want to assess the next cranial nerves, number 3, 4, or 6, oculomotor, trochlear, abducent. Okay. For that, I can assess all three at once by the eye movements. So right now, what I would like you to do, my dear patient, is to look at my finger with both of your eyes. Okay. Keep your head still. I want you to follow my finger as I move them around, okay? Follow them. Now the other finger. Tamam. Eye movement is completely tamam. Up, down, left to right. Okay, by the edge shape test. We're going with that. So after assessing 3 and 4 and 6, next we want to assess the trigeminal nerves. So next we want to assess the trigeminal nerve. Now for the trigeminal nerve, we assess the sensation and the motor. Now typically we would have a cotton, but we can use a tissue paper. It's fine for the purpose of this examination. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assess the sensation of your face. Okay. So I'd like to ask you first whether you can feel that. Tamam. So what I'd like you to do is to close your eyes. I'm going to touch part of your face and answer me with a yes whether you can feel the same sensation.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Tamam. Good. We're assessing the sensation of all 3 divisions of trigeminal: ophthalmic, maxillary, and mandibular. Okay? That's facial sensation. Besides facial sensation, next we can assess the muscles supplied by the trigeminal nerve. So now what I would like you to do is to clench your teeth very hard. I'm just going to touch some of your muscles. Clench your teeth. We're going to assess the superficial temporalis. Clench your teeth again. We're going to assess the masseter muscle. Okay? Tamam. Another thing that you could do is you can ask the patient, could you move your jaw around? Like this. Move through. Tamam. So all the muscles of the jaw, they're tamam. Everything is tamam. Okay? So that's the trigeminal nerve. I could also perform a reflex with my reflex hammer, and that's known as the jaw reflex. So what I want you to do is to open your mouth just slightly, tamam. Put my finger on the jaw and then slightly tap it. Boom, that's it. Normally the reflex response is just going to be closure because you're contracting the jaw muscle. But an abnormality that you wouldn't want to know is that if the jaw closes like this, brisky jaw, this is an abnormality caused by pseudobulbar palsy from McLeod. Okay? So that's the jaw reflex. Besides the jaw reflex, there's the corneal reflex. We'll not do it, but typically you would do it. You would do it by asking the patient to look around, have a tissue paper, for example, and then slightly put it on the lateral surface of the cornea. Normal response is blinking, when you put it in there. So that's the trigeminal nerve. After the trigeminal nerve, we already finished cranial nerve number 6, so we'll go to the next one, and the facial nerve. Now the facial, from its name, we're going to assess the muscles of the facial expression. But before we do, I want to look at the patient through inspection. I'm going to look, there's no asymmetry, there is no drooping of the angle, there's no ptosis, everything is tamam, okay? All the face are clear, okay? So after, and after one, there's no meiosis. So now, after I assess the patient's face, next I want to assess the muscles of facial expression. So the muscles of facial expression, what I want you to do, can you raise your eyebrows for me? Tamam, resist me pulling them down. Can you close your eyes shut strongly? Prevent me from opening them up. Tamam. Now can you smile for me? Can you whistle for me? Tamam. Can you blow for me? Like this. Now resist me holding them. Tamam. That's for the muscles of the facial expression. So everything is clear for the muscles of facial expression. The facial nerve is intact. Abnormalities on Bell's palsy, for example, where it's like this. Tamam. Now, after we assess the muscles of the facial nerve, we can also do the corneal and the corneal reflex, but we don't have to do it. Okay, just mention it. Next, after that, we can do the examination of the cranial nerve number 8. Now, we don't have to do it, or before we use the tuning fork, when we examine the cranial nerve, when we assess the hearing, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to close one of your ears and I'm just going to whisper a number. And I want you to say what I whispered to you, okay, to assess your hearing. So, أقول لك نمشي من ورا أحسن. Is this here?
99. 99.
And that the other ear.
99. 99.
Now another thing I could do is I can close one of the patient's ears, and I could have next to him rubbing my fingers. I want to ask you whether you can hear me rubbing my fingers next to you, okay?
Yes.
And the other one?
Yes.
Done. That is one of the ways you can do it by assessing. Or you can use one of your watch and ticking, whether you can hear the tick as well. Now this is without the tuning fork if you were asked to. Besides that, that's something that you can just mention it, Saraha. The other one is two tests, Weber's and Renus test. I'm just going to show you how. So Weber tuning fork, this is a 128 hertz, so it would be for lower leg, but we will just demonstrate it. For the Weber's test, I would ask the patient, okay, now I want to see whether you can hear this vibration, okay? So right now, I want to put it on your forehead. Tell me whether you can hear it.
Yes.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in your forehead, and I want you to tell me whether you can hear it more louder on the right or the left, or both equally in the middle.
Okay.
Okay?
Both.
Both. This is normal. This is the normal response. This is the Weber's test. Besides, there's the Renus test. The other test is very simple. So now what I'm going to do is again assess your hearing with this tuning fork. I'm going to vibrate it, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to place it one behind your ear, and then one in front of your ear. And I want you to ask me which way sounds louder, the first or the second one. Okay?
The second one.
The second one, a little closer in front of your ear. This is normal because what you're assessing for deafness related to conduction of air. While the previous test when we were doing the Weber's, we were assessing sensory neural deafness. Okay, so these are the types of tests for the Renus test. Okay, for Renus and Weber's test. After we assess cranial nerve number 8, next we have glossopharyngeal nerve and the vagus nerve. Can you open your mouth for me? Now normally I would have a tongue depressor. Before that I would just look for the uvula if it's deviated right or left, المفروض تكون في middle, and then I would have a tongue depressor, depress the tongue and it stimulate the gag reflex. If the patient gags, that is completely normal. That means 9 and 10 are intact. Okay? That is as I mentioned, you can close your mouth. Okay? Now besides 9 and 10, finally we have spinal accessory nerve, cranial number 11. Simply put, right now I want you to elevate. I'm going to put my hands on your shoulders, and what you to do is elevate them and prevent me from pulling them in. Okay? Elevate them. Done. Now I'm going to put my hand on your cheek, and what I want you to do is turn your head against my cheek. Turn your head against my hand and prevent me from pulling them from you. Okay? Done. Now the other one. This is my hand. Turn. Done. So what I'm assessing for the sternocleidomastoid muscle, as well as the shoulders muscles, as well as supplied by cranial nerve number 11. Finally, the last thing that we could do is assess for hypoglossal nerve. For cranial nerve number 12, I would ask the question, could you protrude your tongue for me? It's in the middle. Can you move them sideways? Quickly. Done. The tongue muscles are completely clear and good. Now next, what I want you to do is I'm going to put my hand on your cheek, and what I want you to do is to basically move the tongue inside your mouth against my hand. Okay? Move them. Mumtaz. And the other one. Mumtaz. His tongue is resisting my hand. That means the tongue muscles, they're contracting. They're completely supplied by the hypoglossal nerve. There's no lesion. Okay? After examining the cranial nerves, we're done. Your cranial nerves are completely normal. Intact. I would write the history that the patient's normal. I've done an examination in all 12 cranial nerves, and they've all been normal in the patient. Okay? As well as assessing the patient's mental status. Now I'm going to assess I'm going to do an examination in your upper limbs. Okay, I'm going to say whether you can feel, move, and coordination with you. Okay. So to start with, first I'm going to just examine your arms first. To assess with, looking at the arms, we have an abbreviation, the SWIFT. So looking at the patient's arms, there's no scars, there's no muscle wasting, there's no involuntary movements like myoclonic jerks and seizures. There's no fasciculation. There's an extra where you could tap on the biceps muscle, but that's not needed. You have to mention by seeing whether there's any fasciculation. And then the T in the word swift is tremor. Of course, you want to check for tremor. Can you extend your arm up for me? Can you extend your wrist up? No flapping tremor, no tremor. You can rest your arm now. So there's no tremor either. After inspecting the patient's arm, now I'm going to assess your toe. Okay, the tone and muscles. So what I want you to do is to completely relax your arm. I'm just going to move them around, okay? So you can take either one. You'll do flexion, extension, rotation, okay? Another one that you could do is this one. You shake the patient's hand. Oh, no, ready? I'm shaking him. Supination, pronation, okay? Then you flex the elbow. And then support the patient's elbow with your other hand and rotate. That's it. You can do the other one. I'm going to repeat it just because I'm kind of confused it. Flexion, extension, rotation, pronation, supination, flexion, extension of the elbow. Then support the patient's arm with your elbow and then rotate. Tape the shoulders. You're assessing for the patient's tone, okay? So the patient's tone is tamam. You're looking for hypertonia or hypotonia, any motor neuron lesion. In this case, the patient's tone is normal, okay? It's neither tense nor super relaxed. Okay, so after assessing the patient's tone, next I want to assess the patient's strength. So I'm going to now test the power of your muscles, okay? So for this one, can you raise your arm out first for me? Immediately my comment is that the patient's power, according to different grades, it codes 3+, because he's able to raise his arms. So he's going to say 3+. Okay, so now what I want you to do is resist me pulling them downwards, okay? Now resist me pulling them upwards. Tamam. Now could you extend your wrist out like this? Resist me pulling this downwards. Now could you extend your wrist out like this? Resist me pulling them upwards. Resist me pulling them upwards. I'm looking for wrist flexion and extension, okay? Now could you flex your elbows like this? And now resist me pulling them downwards. Resist me pulling them downwards. Mumtaz. Now the next one that we could do in some videos, where we can do shoulder abduction and adduction, resist me pulling them outwards. Resist me pulling them inwards. Other one, for the shoulder, can you do like this? Now resist me pulling them upwards. Resist me pulling them downwards now. Done now. Now you can relax. Now the other one, the last one is when you want to assess the power of the fingers. Now the power of the fingers, you could mention it, but typically you would have a tissue paper, and what you would ask the patient to do is to hold this tissue paper like this. To show you just a quick example. Notice the patient could have one of your fingers. To hold this tissue paper with your fingers and prevent me from pulling them up. Okay? So we can have in this one, for example. To the next one. To the next one, to the next one, to the next one. Okay, you're assessing whether his metacarpophalangeal joints are strong to contract. So that's pretty much it. Now, of course, my comment is for this patient, he's 5+. I'm doing strong resistance and he's able to maintain it. So his normal power is 5, at least 5, okay? Now, after assessing the strength and power, next, I'm now going to test your reflexes of your upper limbs, okay? So I want you to completely relax. Extend your arm out for me. What we're going to do is typically, can you flex your elbow for me? What we do is we will assess for the biceps tendon. Tamam. Put your finger on it. And just relax. Look away. Now look at the other one. Oh, is he in that? There we go. Typically, in some patients, the reflex may be absent. In that case, you can tell them to clench their teeth and look away. Okay? If there's no reflex aslan, maybe this is a case of lower motor neuron lesion. Or hyperreflexia, upper motor neuron lesion. Okay? ده بالنسبة للبايسس reflex. The next one هنسوي للtriceps والbrachioradialis. Okay? So what I want you to do is have your arm out there, rest for me. You can come here. Now for this one, we're going to feel for the triceps tendon, and this here above the elbow. And then we're going to tap it. There you go. Look at the other one. Now the other one, I'll show you the other way. Good. We'll have your arm rest on my arm. Okay. In this arm. Feel for the triceps tendon in this one. And do it. There you go. So you can do it either side. Okay. Because the hamish, don't have the arm touching the floor. Tell the patient to relax. Now the next one for the upper limb reflexes is the brachioradialis reflex. For this one, you're going to feel for the styloid process of the wrist. This is the area of the tendon of the brachioradialis. Right about here, only 2 fingers. And this here. And there you go. Now, try on this one. 2 fingers, approximately in this area. Let's try this one. There you go. So that's for the brachioradialis reflex. So in that case, we would assess that the patient's reflexes are normal. Okay, they're not hypo or hyperreflexia. Okay. After assessing the tone, the strength, the power, the reflexes, I could also include as part of my upper limb examination is the coordination, just for the upper extremities. Okay. So now I'm just going to assess part of your coordination. You could leave coordination separately, but I'll just include it for the upper limb. So I'm now just going to assess the coordination, ma'am, of your balance, okay? So what I want you to do is have your finger, your index finger in your nose, in this side, and then touch my index finger. Touch your nose again, touch my index finger. I want you to keep repeating that as I move my fingers around, okay?
Okay.
Mama. Again. Again. The other finger. This is the finger to nose test. Mama. This is the finger to nose test to assess the cerebellar function. If there's an abnormality where he's overshooting like this and this is a case of dysmetria. Okay, this is a cerebellar disease. Now, this is the finger to nose test. The next one is rapid alternating movement. Can you have your hands together like this? Tamam. And flip it. Again, flip it. Again. And what I want you to do is do it quickly. Tamam. Tamam. Now the other hand. Again, same thing. Faster. Tamam. So the patient's coordination is normal regarding his upper extremities. That's the finger to nose test, as well as the rapid alternating movement test. Okay? That's pretty much it for the upper limb examination. Regarding the upper limb examination, besides assessing the motor, the tone, والإنسبكشن والكلام ده، حاجة زيادة نسوي sensation. So now I'm just going to test the sensation of your upper limbs. Okay?
Okay.
So regarding the sensation of the upper limbs, we have superficial and deep. Right now I'm going to assess touch and mention pinprick and temperature. So we'll start with touch. So for now, I have a tissue paper with me, okay, or a cotton ball. And I want you to close your eyes. I want you to tell me whether you can feel this.
Yes.
Tamam. So what I want you to do is I'm going to place this on your upper arms, tamam, or in your arms in general, and I want you to tell me whether you feel the same sensation. Okay?
Okay.
While closing your eyes. Okay, so you can open your eyes, close them. Okay? Right.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Tamam. This is the touch sensation. Okay. Now you don't have to go through each area. على فكرة يكون بشكل عام هنا بس يكون bilateral. Okay. The touch sensation. The next one is pinprick. شو pain sensation ما هتسويها بس ده بالneedle pen. ثالث شيء هي temperature sensation. This is by two tubes واحدة hot واحدة cold. بس تعملها mentioning وتحط الcold تقول له hot هل ده hot ولا cold ده حاجة زي دي. ممكن نسويه اللي بعده اللي هي deep sensation اللي هي joint position sense والvibration. نبدأ بالjoint position. So right now what I'm going to do is assess whether you can feel your joints moving when closing your eyes. So I want to show you that this is your thumb. Okay, I'm going to move your thumb up and down. And what I want you to do is when you close your eyes, tell me whether I'm moving it up or I'm moving it down.
Okay.
Okay, so close your eyes. Okay.
Up. Down. Down. Up.
And the other one.
Up. Up. Down. Up.
تمام. Joint position sensation is intact. لو كان عنده sensory ataxia مثلا ما يكون عنده sensation دي أصلا. Okay? وخلي بالك لما hold the thumb, please don't hold it like this. تمام. Don't hold it with your other thumb because that was going to be cheating. It's going to know which way he's going. You have to hold it sideways. Okay? That's for the joint position sense. Now the next one is vibration sense. And as for the vibration sense, you're going to typically you don't have to do it صراحة, but to mention it. But we'll just do it. So for this one is appropriate for the limbs. For this one, I'm just going to ask the patient. So right now I'm going to ask you whether you can feel this buzzing in your arms. So for now, first of all, I want to see whether you can feel this. Close your eyes. Can you feel this?
No.
Can you feel it?
No.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it in one of your hands. I want you to tell me whether you can feel it buzzing. Okay?
Okay.
Extend your arm out for me. There's many ways صراحة. في الchecklist بيقول لك هنا في الرسم بس هوريك في الفيديوهات اللي بيسووا أول شيء.
Yes.
Let me know when it stops.
Stops.
تمام. Now the other one.
Yeah.
Let me know when it stops.
Stop.
تمام. That's how you assess for the vibration, okay? Now in the checklist, they might mention that you do it on the stylo process. For example, let me just show you. Where they have it approximately here, okay?
Yeah.
Can you feel that?
Yeah.
Let me know when it stops.
Stop.
And that's also correct صراحة. But according to the books, if you go on the bony province, يعني in the distal interphalangeal joint of the thumb, it's تمام. Okay? Anywhere else. If you go to the checklist, it's fine. Now that's for the vibration sense. خلصنا vibration. في حاجات extra ممكن تعملها mentioning بس سهلة جدا. إنه now what I'm gonna do is, to assess your sensation is I'm gonna have an object or a device on your hand, and while closing your eyes, I want you to tell me what that object might be by feeling it. Okay?
Okay.
So close your hand, close your eyes. Tell me what this is.
Mobile.
Mobile. Done. You can open your eyes. Look, you can do the other hand, but صراحة one hand is enough. This is known as stereognosis. You can have a key as well, most commonly, to do this. Now, besides stereognosis, we have just my trapezius. So what I'm going to do to assess your sensation again is that I'm going to write with my finger, or you can use your pen, the edgy part, the dull part of your pen, to write a random. So what I'm going to do is going to write or draw a random number, any number, and I want you to guess with your eyes closed what that number might be by feeling it. Okay? So close your eyes.
Okay. 6.
6. If I want to do it again, let me give you another number.
Game, please.
أقول لك حاجة تانية.
1.
1 مثلا أعطيه simple number أو أعطيه letter بسيطة. المهم you will easily guess it. If you didn't صراحة you can try another one in the other hand. Okay? So that's trapezius and the stereognosis. We finished this طبعا بشكل عام اسمها cortical sensation الاثنين. خلصنا السنسيشن تاعت الupper limb. تمام ندخلها مع Now we're going to examine the lower limb. So now I'm going to do a lower limb examination. Okay?
Okay.
So what I want you to do is to lie down on the table for me. Yeah? That's what you do first. The fine position. Now, could you move your shoes?
Okay.
Now, listen. Okay, now for the lower limb examination, you're going to do the exact same as you did for upper limb examination. First, you're going to stand right here. This time you're going to do inspection. Again, same abbreviation, SWIFT. شوف طبعا the patient اصله نفسه بيكون exposed خليه لما محتاج بس يكون exposed lower legs بتاعه تمام وتشوف هل في scars هل في muscle wasting هل في involuntary movements هل في fasciculation تعمل tapping في النيز لو بدك تتاكد للفاسيكيليشن وتشوف لو في تريمر او اي شيء زي دي اوكي وثاني شيء نشوف بعد ذاك اسمه شنو التون so now just gonna examine the motor examination يعني motor assessment of his lower limbs so بالنسبه للتون ببساطه شنو في حاجات كثيره بس ببساطه شنو as the patient completely relaxed let your legs be floppy and from there I will do multiple things هي نفس الفكره I will roll his legs for me. Another one is I will extend his legs. تكون not too floppy بس في نفس الوقت مش too contracted تمام؟ ثاني شيء ممكن تسويه عشان تشوف الانكل والني والهيب كلها تمام للتون بتاعه you take the ankle just flex it extend it rotate flex it extend it rotate let it relax you think rotate okay and the next one is you'll take the knee up تمام and from there you will flex it extend it flex it extend it the same for this one flex it extend it flex it extend it now of course another one for the hip is you can do the circular motion where you roll it around so for this one take it circular motion rolling it around okay that is for the tone regarding all the joints in the limbs now regarding something related to tone is that of course when you're inspecting طبعا before the tone you want to look for pectus cavus has to show في sharked foot when you examine the tone you want to check for positive ankle clonus for this one there's multiple ways but one of the ways you could do it is either this way and from here what you're going to do is that you're going to just tell the patient relax suddenly dorsiflex لو كان في abnormality لما عملت كده يكون شكله كده clonus kind of sign of upper motor neuralization. That one way. Another way, have it flex at 90 degrees. مثلا تمام. Ask the patient to relax and شوف لو في clonus يكون كده الابنورماليتي بس المفروض normal زي كده. بس تشوف لي ankle clonus. Okay. خلصنا كده التون. Now after assessing the tone, next you want to assess the strength or the power of the muscles of the legs. I'm just now going to assess the power of your legs. Okay. So could you raise your legs for me? Both of your legs. She says, I forget again, grades 3 plus على الأقل. Reason says it. Now, of course, after raising your legs, now what you to do is resist me pulling them downwards. Raise your legs. or do from here, like a hip flexion. Now resist me pulling them upwards, okay? تمام. طبعا هو بيكون شوية في الجراوند بعد نسويها في الحالة دي. بس الهيب فليكشن والهيب اكستنشن. تاني شيء ممكن تسويه you take the knee. Now I want you to do is prevent me from extending your knee, okay? And now the other one. Come on. Another one is prevent me from flexing your knee, okay? The other one. Come on. Now the next one that you could do is look at the feet. Now what I want you to do is have your toes towards my hand. And what you do is prevent me from pulling them outward, okay? Then this one. Done. Now I want your toes towards my other hand. Now prevent me from pushing them downwards, okay? Also this one. So this one. Okay. Now the next ones that you could do is check for inversion, eversion, as well as abduction and adduction. Okay, so for this one, what I want you to do is have your feet towards my hand. Prevent me from pushing them outwards. This is inversion. Now the other one. This is another inversion. Now eversion, have your ankles towards my hands. Prevent me from pushing them inwards.
Okay.
Like this one. And also this one. Okay? Done. Now we'll do abduction, adduction. Now I want you to resist me pushing your legs outwards.
Okay.
And inwards. Tamam. We now finish examining the tone of the lower legs. طبعا the patient has, again, the same comment, normal tone. Okay, that's for the tone. Next we can assess for the patient's reflexes. ده طبعا الباور. Sorry, not tone. Sorry. Strength or power. طيب اللي بعده هتكون الريفلكسز. Now for the reflexes of the lower leg معك 3 أشياء. صراحة ممكن you can only just have to do 2. Now for the first one you're going to do is طبعا for the knee reflex. For the knee reflex you could do this way, where طبعا he's going to be exposed. خلي بالك lower limb exposed. With SS and you will feel for the اسمه patellar tendon. You will feel for the patellar tendon, the patella with the patellar tendon. You're going to have your hammer. You're going to tap it. يكون عنده response تحت. شوف الثاني. This one again, feel for that tender tendon. There you go, that's the response. Other response انك تكون sitting. تمام؟ فده للكني reflex. ثاني شيء ممكن نسويه للانكل reflex هو قاعد. So I'm gonna have your other arm here, your other leg here. Over here, خليك relaxed. And from here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna extend his Achilles. His Achilles should be extended, and from there I'll hit the tendon. There we go. The other one. Go from here. Dorsiflex. There we go. Should be wiggling of the toe. That is for the ankle reflex. ثالث واخر reflex for lower limb اللي ممكن تسوي plantar reflex اللي هي البابنسكي sign. But we don't have to do it. But typically you could have the edge of your tendon hammer, and from here, from here we'll just show it. Typically you would have it scratching all the way towards the little toes and over here. Tamam? Or in this one. Towards the little toe. Then from here. It's like an upside down J. Now the normal response in المفروض التو دي تعمل flexion. تمام؟ بس لو في الابnormal extensor plantar response لو حد عنده Babinski sign بيكون كده when you do it. Okay? That is Babinski sign. You can just mention it. خلصنا الريفلكسز. اللي بعده ممكن نسويه اللي هي sensation. بالنسبة للسنسيشن بنسسم نفس الفكرة. شوف التاتش، شوف البين، كل ده نفس الفكرة. Now I'm not just going to touch your lower legs with this cupping ball. Okay, so what I want you to do is tell me when you feel this.
Yeah.
Come on. So I want you to close your eyes while touching. Respond to me with a yes whether you can feel it.
Okay.
نفس الفكرة بس هنمشي بالتفاصيل.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yes. 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 Yes.
طبعا انا ما مشيت بس المفروض انك في السنسيشن تعمل ستروكينج. انا بس مشيت كده عشان ما نضيع الوقت. اوكي؟ التاتش سنسيشن. غير التاتش سنسيشن نفس الشيء. شوف طبعا البين سنسيشن، تشوف التمبريتشر، تمام بس تعملها منشنينج. but الديب سنسيشن بتشوف الجوينت بوزيشن سنس والvibration. نفس الفكرة. Instead of using your thumb, you're going to use your toe. So I'm now going to assess whether you can feel your toe moving up and down. تمام. So I want you to close your eyes. طبعا you will show him, but you will close your eyes. تمام. And let me know if it's moving up or down. Okay.
Up. Down.
Down. نفس الشيء اللي ده. Okay. شوف الجوينت بوزيشن تكون نورمال. ثاني شيء شوف الفايبريشن سنس داخل الجوينتس. الفايبريشن نفس الفكرة. You ask the patient whether he can feel this. I'm going to assess whether you can feel this vibration. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to put it in your lower legs and let me know. Now I'm going to assess whether you can feel the sensation in your lower legs. I mean this vibration in your lower legs. Close your eyes.
Yeah.
Let me know when it stops.
Stop.
تمام. You will do the same for this one. Now be careful. بعد هنا التو بتكون صح because in the toe you're looking for that bony prominence. بتكون هنا أو من هنا. الاثنين بتكون صح. فلو مشينا بالتشيك ليست بتكون صح. مشينا بالتشيك ليست بتكون في الميديال malleolus اللي هي الجهة دي. سوي نفس الفكرة وشوف. You're gonna close your eyes عشان demonstration بسرعة. Can you feel it?
Yes.
Let me know when it stops.
Stopped.
بس نفس الفكرة مشينا بالتشيك ليست. كده خلصنا ما عملنا البوزيشن سنس في التوز. تمام. كده خلصنا كل سنسيشن. طبعا في ستريجنوسيس برابيزيا تخليها في الهاندز بتكفي صراحة. تمام. بس. طيب الحين حنسوي اخر شيء الكوردينيشن. سوينا الكوردينيشن قبل شوي. كوردينيشن متعلقه بالابر اكستريميتيز اللي هي rapid alternating movement وطبعا الفينجر تو نوز تيست. خليناه مع الابر ليم اكزامينيشن. طبعا لو عايز تخلص اللور ليم اكزامينيشن بالكامل تشوف الكوردينيشن متعلقه باللور ليم. على فكره لو الدكتور سال لك تسوي كوردينيشن سوي كوردينيشن كله مع بعض الابر دي ودي واللي تشوف الحين. اوكي. فنعتبر دي مع اللور ليم اكزامينيشن اخر شيء الكوردينيشن. فبالنسبه للكوردينيشن can you sit for me او خليك sit stand up for me. خليها اخر شيء. Now what I want you to do is have your feet together and look towards the wall. Now what I want you to do is stand still, okay? If you feel ever still steady, I'm gonna have you for support. Okay, so close your eyes. So you're looking for Romberg sign, هل هي Romberg positive or negative? Correcting gait والكلام ده. طيب now for the gait. Now what I want you to do is I want you to walk towards this wall and return back. Just walk normally. Okay? Just walk normally. You're assessing the person's gait. Are they ataxic? Are they drunken? Are they spastic? Scissor gait? Tamam. Now I want you to walk with your heel in front of your foot like this. Okay? Like a model. Okay. This is the tandem gait. And return. Now, as you're returning, can you walk on your heels? Walk on your heels. Done. Now, last thing, can you walk on your toes? Again, you're assessing it's a normal symmetrical triangle, assessing the cerebellum, especially. Done. You can relax now. So after performing the Romberg sign and after performing the gait, the last thing that we could do, and we do the heel to chin test. Okay? Now for the heel to chin test, I want you to lay on the table. So for the heel to chin test, see if it has a finger to nose test to show if we overshooting the target. So I will need to first explain to the patient. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have your heel on your chin, and I want you to rub it forward. Extend, rub it forward. Extend, rub it forward. Okay? Repeat that for me. All right. Good. Again, you're seeing this rubbing. Stop. Now do the other leg. The other leg. Just do it 3 times. Okay, you can relax. This is the heel to chin test. Again, you're seeing whether there's overshooting. عشان نشوف الcerebellum is intact ولا لا. Okay? So this is for the coordination. The person is well coordinated. خلصنا over them. We finished everything. تمام. And we can thank the patient. Thank you for your time. Thank you.